Yes, we'll now discussing about the designing mathematics curriculum. For that, we are going. What is coming under this is aims and objectives of teaching mathematics at secondary and higher secondary level, or NCF 2009. Okay, it is about what are the aims and objectives. Why mathematics is taught at the secondary and higher secondary level. First is about the secondary level. In the secondary level, according to NCF 2009, students begin to perceive the structure of mathematics as a discipline. In this age, students understand that. I'll write it down. Now it is the secondary level. Right? The first thing is students understand at this level, they will understand that mathematics is one discipline. Right? They become familiar with the characteristics of mathematical communication. Now they are able to communicate in mathematics. Right? And they may be using, they know what are the terms in mathematics, what are the concepts, what are the symbols used in mathematics, and what is propositions in mathematics, and also how to prove if the proposition is proved, it becomes theorem, and so many other things. The geometry, the basic concepts of geometry, these are all the things they will be knowing in the secondary level. Then students develop their facility with algebra. Now they have understood something about the algebra and application, how it is applied in day-to-day life, and justification, how to justify and how to prove. So at this stage, students integrate the many concepts. They are able to mathematical concepts, they can integrate it, and mathematical skills they might have acquired, and about the problem solving ability also. And not only that, mathematical modeling. At this level, no students know about the mathematical modeling, data analysis can be taught in this level, because they become very mature, and then can consolidate the higher level mathematics literacy also. Then individual and group exploration of connections and patterns. So this stage you can teach the students connections, what are the patterns, how to visualize, and what is the generalization, because they are in adolescent stage. No, they will understand about generalization, making and proving conjectures. What are the conjectures? How to make it and how to prove it? You should have learned, in secondary level. That is what the important stage, right? And they understand about the concrete models of mathematics, what is mathematics laboratory, and what are the computers, the other things they can understand. Now you go to the higher secondary level. In this higher secondary level, students will appreciate the application of mathematics, and they are equipped with so many mathematical skills at this stage, because up to secondary level they have learned vast knowledge, they have acquired a vast knowledge of mathematics. So how this explosion, that is how the mathematics what is rapid explosion in the mathematics as a discipline, range of application, how it is applied, and in their in-depth knowledge of mathematics can be introduced at this level. Then they will study about differentiation, integration, and all. No, and this level, since the increase in the must be dictated by mathematical consideration, importance of mathematics can be included in this, and different topics in the curriculum, difficult topics also can be included, and the treatment of mathematical and how to communicate in mathematics, what are the concepts, what are the insights, and naturally this arouses them so that the higher level that they can go to for the university. Higher secondary should prepare the students for the university level mathematics. That is how higher secondary level has to be framed. Now we talk about the maxims of teaching. Okay, the first one is, you all know, from known to unknown. First one. Second one is from simple to complex. Third one is from particular to general. Fourth one is from concrete to abstract. One is from whole to part. Okay, sixth one is that's it, right? These are the maxims of teaching. So you know that if you teach the student from known to unknown, it becomes easy for the child to understand from simple to complex, from particular to general, from concrete to abstract, from whole to part. So this becomes very interesting and the students will understand it better, right? Then different types of approaches we have already seen now. Concentric and topical approach of curriculum construction. Once again we'll see what is a concentric approach. This type of this is the system of organizing a course, right? Course content, how it is organized, that is method of teaching. It is it is not the method of teaching, sorry, it is not the method of teaching, how the course itself is organized. It is therefore better to call its concentric system or approach. Okay, it's a widening of knowledge, just as concentric circles extending and widening. No, the knowledge is also getting extended and knowledge is also getting widened. It's a system of arrangement of subject matter. In this method, the study of the topic is spread over a number of years. Same topic is spread over a number of years, right? It is based on the principle of subject cannot be given at exhaustive treatment. In one stage, you cannot give all the subject to the all exposure cannot be given, because it becomes difficult for the student to understand. So it begins with the simple presentation. Subject is presented in very simple and understandable manner in the lower classes. Slowly the complexity increases, right? So that students can understand better, like the concentric circles. So it begins with the nucleus of a circle and goes on widening as the classes proceed. Procedure. A topic is divided into number of portions which are then allotted to different classes. So first what people will do is a particular topic they divide into small parts, number of portions, and what portion has to be included in what level they will decide. The criterion for allotment of a particular portion of the course to the particular class is how the difficulty level, what is the difficulty level of the topic, whether the students can comprehend during that particular age and that particular class, and students' interest in that particular class, and what is their age, what development age, psychological development age. These are all considered while selecting the topic for that particular level. This is to be mainly considered with the year by year, what other topic has to be divided. What is the merits of the concentric method? Merits of the concentric method is that the organization of the subject matter is decidedly superior to that in which it is the topic is taken. It's not a topic is taken, the whole aspect of the topic is considered. And then it's providing a framework, okay? So that is, it's a value for the students, right? The system is not successful when the teaching is in the hand of the teacher who don't know how to continue, means how to connect with the previous class and next class, how it will be getting connected. This type of connection the teacher should do. If teacher is unable to do, then this method literally fails. Right? That means it enables the teacher to cover the portion according to the receptive of the learner. Means that particular age, what is the receptive level, accordingly that subject is given to the child. Since the same topic is learned for over a period of time, so it will be there in the mind of the child for a longer period of time. It does not allow the teaching to become dull, because you are according to the interest while giving the topic, interest and psychological development of the child is considered. Therefore, the child will not lose any interest. What are the drawback for this level? The main drawback is a capable teacher can alone teach in this manner to connect the previous and the next. Right? If the teacher is over ambitious, the teacher cannot give everything in the introductory level. If in the introduction level, if the teacher gives everything, then the full ambition and interest of that particular topic is lost, and next year student will not be appealing for the child to learn the next year, right? And it is too long process, right? They learn for longer period of time the same topic, right? That is also some sort of boring. They feel that topic becomes dull, again and again learning the same thing. For example, if I am taking the topic of indices, right, in the 6th standard, what we can talk about indices: what is expression, what is meaning, what is base, what is power, what is reading, what is how to find the value, what is negative indices. These are all can be introduced in the 6th level. Then indices in the 7th level. Then again introduction, that is what they learned in the previous class. They're using from that, and then revision of rules. Some sort of revision can be done of the rules which they learned in 6th standard, and expanded forms, right? A little bit more about the expanded forms can be introduced at the 7th level. Then you go to the 8th level. It is about the same topic, indices. Then you revise, then laws, that or rather laws of the indices, and what are the fractional. Now you can introduce the fractional, a to the power of minus half, a to the power of minus 1 by 3. Like this, fractional indices can be introduced in the 8th standard level. Now we go to the 9th standard level, surds. So students can learn about the surds. It is all about the indices only. So students learn about the surds in the 9th standard, and in the 10th standard, higher level, trigonometry, solving the problem, all this they will learn. So this is all about the concentric method, about the same topic. One example we have seen. Concentric approach is really very good approach, right? And the teachers have to be very careful to that portion, either too long or it should not be too short also. And year by year, the consecutive year, positive points can be added, right? From the link can be done. So teachers teaches the particular content every year. Who are teaching the particular content in every year, the teacher can add connection between the previous level. Also, the teacher can start with a full interest and weaker, right? So next comes the topical approach of organizing the curriculum. Just now we have learned about the concentric approach. Now we will learn about the topical approach. Same, it is about the curriculum organization of curriculum only. Topical arrangement is the finishing the topic in one stage. It takes the topic as a unit. Complete topic is taken as a unit. Topical arrangement requires that easy and difficult portion of the topic should be dealt with one stage only. And it is sometimes it is called a psychological method. We'll see why. In the system, the topic will be dealt with earlier receives no attention later, and means students will not forget in the same level they are learning, because there is no connection, no need of connection, because same topic is dealt in only one class only one grade only. The main defect in the topical method is that in the curriculum, if it is too large, then it becomes difficult for the child to understand, and it may not be at the level of the child to understand this very difficult topic. Initial level is easy. When it goes, the topic goes difficulty level increases, the child finds it very difficult to understand. And sometimes the child feels it is irrelevant for me, because that particular stage it is not interested. The child may not be interested in learning that particular thing. So they will feel this irrelevant for me, right? These are the things actually drawback, you can say. And the complete topic is taught in a single class. Student will find it boring also. Hence, the topical method demands the topic once taken should be finished entirely in that particular grade or particular class only. And especially it is not useful in the lower classes, and the child becomes very boring, right? And it's impossible for lower classes also. For example, a topic is taken in unified whole, right, into breakable units. Topics which cannot be analyzed into smaller, you cannot use in the topical method. Means the principle of topical approach is nothing but take any topic, do not live in half done. Finish it entirely in the same class. What are the steps in this? Systematic arrangement of the subject matter. Syllabus is also suitable or suitably organized. Topic is chosen at a stretch, and no break, no gap is given. For example, 5th standard students learn about the perimeter. In the 7th standard, time and work, discount, commission and rebate. And 9th standard students learn about the surds, sets, logarithm computing. These are all the topical method is used for this